In this video, we were taking a look at fighting games made by developers that aren't known for making fighting games. Loads of interesting fighting games have been released by companies other than Capcom, Namco, SNK, Arc System Works and the lot, and we are here to take a look at 3 of them. We'll start with what is likely the most well-known of the bunch. Sunsoft, known for some amazing work on the NES with games like Batman, Blaster Master and the often forgotten about but no less excellent Journey to Silius, tried their luck with a fighting game in 1995 with Galaxy Fight Universal Warriors, before following it up in 1996 with the wonderful, the wacky Waka Waka 7. Though not exactly their first forte into fighting games, Waka Waka 7 improved much upon their previous Galaxy Fight title. The game is mostly one huge pop culture reference, like the paper-thin plot in which your character is in search of the 7 Waka Waka balls. Yes, really, the Waka Waka balls, in order to have any one wish granted. The title Waka Waka 7 itself references the 7 playable characters in the game, preceded by the Japanese onomatopoeia for sounds of excitement. Let's take a look at these 7 exciting characters. The first character on our list is Rai. Rai, a BMX riding young boy who goes on an exciting adventure to find the 7 Waka Waka balls to wish for more adventures. Okay then. Rai wields some kind of dark electrical power for most of his special moves and is able to perform a double jump. He is a parody of the KOF character Shei Kenso. Arena, a young bunny girl looking for the 7 Waka Waka balls in order to wish for love. Aww. She's a rather quick and spunky Shoto-type character shooting stars and hearts instead of fireballs, but beyond that, having a rather basic Dragon Punch and Tatsu in her kit. Arena is a parody of the numerous half-animal, half-human girls of manga and anime at the time. Dandy J, a treasure hunter who has been hired to go after the Waka Waka balls. Dandy J uses a whip as a weapon and is indeed a full-blown JoJo reference, as well as referencing Indiana Jones. Polytank Z, or Polytank Z, a mechanical robot tank piloted by the chief of police and his trusty dog. Polytank is the big body character of this game, rather slow, but able to dish out loads of damage. This character is a parody of mecha in general, as well as Dominion Tank Police in particular. Slash, the brooding edgelord elf going into battle wearing a trench coat and wielding a laser sword. Slash has no wish to be granted, yet he fights to obtain the Waka Waka balls. He's a parody of your typical sword-using anime protagonist and would therefore fit perfectly well in Smash. Maru, or whatever the game says his name is. And the little girl he carries are of course a giant Totoro reference. This giant animal is the second big body character of the cast, slow but able to deal massive damage. Some of his moves mimic the Darkstalker character Sasquatch to a T. And finally Tess, a robot maid who is after the Waka Waka balls to cure the illness of a master and also to achieve her dream of becoming human herself. Being a robot, she can stretch her arms to attack as well as transforming parts of her body to pummel the opponent with vacuum cleaners and brooms. She is a reference to Pinocchio, robotic humans like Astro Boy and of course general maid culture in anime and manga. Waka Waka 7 is a 4-button fighter with special moves and pseudo-instant kill moves known as Hara Hara attacks. Each character's special move list is shown before selecting them, which is quite a welcome feature. The fights take place in mostly beautiful and colourful stages which change time of day between rounds. Going from day to night or night to day, and having some small background elements change is quite a nice detail. Its arcade mode has you squaring off against the entire cast, getting attacked by a punching bag known as Bonus-kun, dressed up like Ryu, who of course tries to test your skill, all before fighting the final boss to rival all final bosses, a being of pure evil, a behemoth known only by his fearsome name, Fernandez. Yeah, okay. This game is available for purchase on most modern consoles as well as being playable on Fightcade. It is a ton of fun, so please check it out. Next up, let's talk about Atlus. Atlus is now most known for their Shin Megami Tensei series and its hugely successful spin-off franchise Persona. However, even before handing over the Persona license to Arc System Works to make the Persona 4 Arena series, Atlus themselves began dabbling in fighting games in 1993. They started their very own fighting game franchise named Power Instinct on the Super Nintendo, moving the franchise to the arcades for the second iteration before releasing the final in-house developed entry known as Groove on Fight in 1997. Atlas is well known for their distinctive style, something that is ever present in this title. Groove on Fight is the third installment in the Power Instinct franchise and took a rather big departure from the series, having an all-new character roster except for the two grandma characters and going for a lot darker of an overall tone. Cutting most of the established cast and going for a darker tone gave this game some bad comparisons to Street Fighter III at time of release. However, just like Street Fighter III is now regarded as a fighting game masterpiece, I think Groove on Fight most definitely deserves a second look as well. Sadly, unlike Street Fighter III and the previous game we talked about, Groove on Fight is very hard to come by. It was ported to the Sega Saturn the same month it got its arcade release, and that's it. The game is not playable through Fightcade as of yet, and the emulation of it through MAME could definitely still use some work. All gameplay shown in this video was recorded from the excellent Saturn port using the 4MB RAM expansion card. Groove on Fight is a 2-on-2 fighting game, in which you're able to tag characters in and out at any time. The characters you aren't controlling will be cheering you on from the sidelines, and can be called upon to attack from there. Defeated characters will remain on the floor and can actually be thrown at the opponent to deal some damage. Something I hadn't seen before is being able to pick the same character twice, which probably diminishes the necessity of the tag system quite a bit. Fighting your way through the arcade mode, you're finally challenged by Bristol Weller, who is revealed to be a devil summoner at the end of the game. He fights you using his demon summoning technique, summoning demons well known to those familiar with the Shin Megami Tensei franchise. A reference returned in favour by appearing in the first Persona game as a game played on an arcade cabinet in the Sea of Souls. Groove on Fight, a game released in an already quite obscure franchise made even more obscure by only ever receiving a Japanese-only port for the Sega Saturn. Beautiful graphics, great artwork and some interesting characters to boot. If anything in this video caught your eyes, then make sure to give Groove on Fight a try. Now on to what is probably the most obscure title of the bunch. Electronic Arts, better known as EA, is a company well known for their sports titles, the Need for Speed racing game franchise, some shooters and of course the hugely popular Sims series of games. What many people would most likely not think of when hearing EA is fighting games. However, in the tail end of the 90s, even this gaming juggernaut had a go at this genre. EA, under the name of Aeon, released Rabbids the Fighting Game in 1997, exclusively in Japan. The title of the game is probably the worst part of it by a country mile. Beyond making it incredibly hard to Google and having most likely helped in keeping this game as obscure as it is, the title Rabbit refers to one of the main gimmicks this game plays with. You see, all characters in this game are able to summon an animal spirit, sort of like a discount JoJo stand. As you probably could have guessed, one of these characters has a rabbit as their animal spirit. So on to the good part. As you may have been able to tell, this game is quite vibrant in colour and the pixel art is rather good looking. The game may not boast an incredibly big roster, only featuring 8 playable characters, but all these characters are rather unique looking and play quite distinct from each other. The footage you are seeing right now was recorded from the Sega Saturn port of this game. Unlike Groove on Fight, this game is fully playable on Fightcade. However, the sound in there was messed up for me, so I went with the Saturn footage instead. Aside from allowing you to perform special moves with your animal spirit stand, each character is also able to execute a parry, referred to as a shield in game. The parry is a button input instead of the Street Fighter III forward input. It makes your character flash for a split second, after which the parry window has ended and you're able to be punished for the attempt. For a first, and as far as I know, final attempt to make a traditional fighting game, I'd say EA did quite well. It may not be an exemplary fighting game by any stretch, but if you're looking to throw down in an unknown or obscure arcade fighting game, you can't go wrong with this title. If you liked or hated this video, let me know in the comments down below. Want to be notified when a new video comes out? Be sure to be subscribed and hit the bell. Want to know what I'm working on next, or just want to chat or play some games with me? Be sure to join my Discord or follow me on Twitter. See you in the next one, and take it easy.